Say I walk past that house when I go on my walks. Now in 2024, I can say I walk past that house when I go on my walks. Now in 2024, so it should be known, because Mr. Magwenya only focused on this photograph. In 2024, I am walking on that same street, and a person comes out of this house and he greets me. And as I often meet people, I ask them, "Who are you?" He says, "I am Hangwani Maumela." And that's how he introduces himself to me. And I say, "So you are the Maumela who is putting my name into disrepute." And he smiles away. And now I've encountered this person and I walk away.
President Cyril Ramaphosa's nephew, Hangwani Maumela, has yet to face criminal charges for his alleged role in the multi-billion rand looting scandal at Tembisa Hospital, as investigators continue working to convert gathered information into court-admissible evidence. This was confirmed by Justice and Constitutional Development Minister Mamaloko Kubai in response to parliamentary questions from Rebecca Mohlala. Maumela was first implicated by the Special Investigating Unit SIU in September 2025 following an extensive probe into procurement at the hospital. The SIU reviewed 1,728 procurement files valued at 816 million rand and flagged irregularities in more than half of them. Investigators identified 41 service providers allegedly linked to Maumela. In addition, 3 companies awarded contracts worth 13 million rand were reportedly connected to the controversial tenderpreneur. Vusi Musiket Matlala, who is currently facing attempted murder charges. The SIU has since moved to secure assets believed to be proceeds of crime, including luxury vehicles and properties tied to Maumela, with some already preserved through the Asset Forfeiture Unit. In February 2026, the SIU handed over its evidence to the National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, to determine whether there is a viable case for prosecution. A docket was subsequently registered at a Cape Town police station in December 2025 for guidance from the Director of the Public Prosecutions. However, Kubai indicated that the case remains under active investigation and said the delay is attributable to outstanding investigative work required to secure admissible evidence, adding that prosecutors may be satisfied before any decision to prosecute is made, and that the matter will be enrolled once investigations are finalized. She confirmed that no charges have yet been formally brought against Maumela. Kubai further explained that the matter referred to as Leg 4 of the Tembisa Hospital investigation was initially handled by the Hawks before the SIU was later authorized to run a parallel probe, and that the information supplied must still be converted into admissible evidence for a criminal case, noting that prosecutors from the Specialized Commercial Crime Unit in Johannesburg are guiding investigators. Meanwhile, a separate legal battle is unfolding over luxury vehicles seized from Maumela's property. In January 2026, the Special Tribunal ruled in favor of a car dealership seeking to overturn a preservation order on 5 vehicles. While the vehicles were ordered to be released, the tribunal imposed conditions requiring the dealership to provide alternative financial security equivalent to their value. The dealership has since appealed the ruling, seeking an unconditional release of the vehicles. The SIU is opposing the appeal and has filed a counter-appeal, arguing that the preservation order should remain fully intact. Kubai said the matter is now before a full bench of the Johannesburg High Court, with both sides seeking a definitive ruling on the fate of the assets. As investigations continue, authorities may have not provided a timeline for when the case may be enrolled, leaving one of the Gauteng's most significant healthcare corruption scandals still unresolved. Meanwhile, the Northwest businessman Solomon Karim appeared at the Madlanga Commission last month. During his testimony, Karim defended his business dealings with the alleged crime kingpin Vusi Muziket Matlala and the businessman Hangwani Maumela, both implicated in the Tembisa hospital tender scandal, saying he believed funds from the pair passing through his business accounts were legitimate business transactions. Karim revealed that he provided 10 million rand funding to Matlala's Medicare 24 company and struck a mining deal with Maumela. That was after Matlala had approached him for financial help, citing cash flow issues following the award of a 360 million rand SAPS tender in 2024. Karim told the commission that Matlala was evasive about repaying him, but he eventually paid 1.75 million rand by mid-March 2025. Surprisingly, Matlala asked him to pay at least 750,000 rand of that amount to Maumela, which Karim refused. He eventually agreed to pay 500,000 rand to Lutaha Trading Enterprise, allegedly linked to Maumela's sister, after Maumela claimed he controlled the account. He testified that he paid Maumela at Matlala's request because he wanted to keep Matlala happy, as he thought if he didn't do that, he would not make payments. Evidence leader Advocate Matthew Chaskelson SC put it to him that he never needed to pay Maumela anything at that time. Karim responded and said, "At that time, I needed to keep him happy to make sure that on the next payment, I get another payment. That was what I was looking to do. Keep Mr. Matlala happy, pacify him. I didn't want to make the payment, but he insisted. I thought if he didn't make this payment, I might not get payment on the next one." The commission heard that this was not Karim's first payment to Lutaha. He had paid the company over 42 million rand between December 2023 and November 2024 through his company Ziggy Investment. He also paid Lutaha over 3 million rand between August 2024 and March 2023 through his company Tamiz. Karim testified that his friendship with Maumela began in 2022 when he purchased a house from him through an estate agency. In 2023, Karim discussed a potential mining project with Maumela, who expressed keen interest in participating, and said, "I then presented a business proposal to him. We needed to raise money because mining is cash intensive. We then agreed to each raise 50 million rand and 5 million rand capital. Maumela did not immediately have cash available and promised to sell an asset to raise funds. Karim said Maumela raised 56 million rand, which was transferred to Ziki's account from Maumela's lawyer's trust account. Maumela later told Karim he was having issues with his current house, incurring penalties and losing 1 million rand monthly, and asked for a refund of the 56 million rand. He said, "For me, it was a slap in the face because I had committed that I needed to move the project." Karim testified that he subsequently learned about Maumela's issues with SARS, saying it was around March 2024, I saw some stuff in the media. Chaskelson suggested that the payments were made to circumvent a SARS preservation order against Maumela. His line of questioning linking Karim to corruption and fraud related to tenders was earlier objected by Karim's lawyer. But the evidence leader said, "We are interested in the relationship between Matlala, Maumela and Karim. We are interested in how the proceeds of crime move around between the witnesses. We know that Matlala has influence over certain people within SAPS. We know that Matlala and Maumela have been involved in widespread tender fraud and corruption at the Tembisa Hospital, alongside what we see in this case." He said the commission was entitled to investigate whether what we are looking at here is a syndicate engaged in widespread tender fraud and also exercising influence on the members of the SAPS. Chaskelson stated that if the contract was obtained through fraud and corruption, the proceeds from the SAPS Medicare 24 contract will be considered proceeds of crime, triggering Section 5 of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act, POCA. He explained that according to Section 5A, person commits a money laundering offense by proceeding with the deal while knowing it resulted from the proceeds of the crime. And that one of the many issues which this commission is going to have to consider is whether to recommend money laundering prosecution under Section 5 of POCA against either yourself, Matlala, or Maumela arising from the payments sent to Lutaga by Tamiz. Karim stated that I had not done this with any intention of committing any fraud. I just got caught in a web of people. I was just doing my business as a businessman. I looked at the opportunities and I saw these opportunities. I took them. Yes, obviously I made a bad choice after, but at no point did I ever want to be part of or promote any of this that you are raising. For me, these were business transactions. I went into business. I thought I was doing it with honorable people. Maybe it was not the case, but at no point did I ever want to be part of the wrong that was happening. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.